Guys, hi and welcome! What if I told you that the Games Workshop actually retcon their own lore again? We are going to discuss with me and Quinn, who is an OG Warhammer fan. He was there from the very beginning. And we are going to take a look at this article here from Fandom Post, which were very dumped on in the last few days because of very huge controversy with Kingdom Comes Deliverance, which is another topic. But yeah, a bit we're going to a bit address that just because what they say basically cannot be trusted now like at all, but still this did happen. So we're going to read the part of the article, discuss, and at the end of the stream we are going to actually conclude, is this good or is this bad, and all of those things that could be a concern for us, the 40k fans. So hi to you, Quinn.
Hello.
Let's first maybe get into the article itself. I'm going to explain real quick what happens as well, but we do have to get into the article to some extent. So yeah, basically as you can see here, fans decry Games Workshop. What the heck is this word? Changing Warhammer 40k lore again with Eldar Wraithbone. You gotta tell me if I if I pronounce this right, because I'm not an Eldar huge fan, so I did not dig into them. That is why you are here. But I did read a lot about this issue. So manufactured instead of sung. So basically, yeah, there's this amazing metal substance that was usually created by a song of sorts, and now they just changed it. That is like everything else that is manufactured. Yeah. Gwen, if you have something to add, just feel free to, you know.
Oh, it's Wraithbone, which is the material that the Eldar build their civilizations and their products with. And they use psychic energy to create it, and they have bone singers that sing the Wraithbone into whatever formation they want to create. And that's been understood since at least 2nd edition. And I guess GW has decided, for whatever reason, I've read somewhere, one of the reasons, is it's now a manufactured product, just like how you'd take it to a factory in the Imperium and punch it out like it was just a common item. So it seems like they're dumbing down and losing a lot of the flavor in the lore of 40k. And I've seen other similarities to that sort of thing happening over the years that I've played, and I think it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, because it seems like before it was very, very special because of the way it was made. It wasn't like anything else. It was clearly distinctive from whatever the humanity has. I would say we, but you know what I mean, humanity. So now it all of a sudden just manufactured.
Well, I guess one of the reasons that I read, so it's just third-hand information. One of the reasons they say that they could be making the changes because there's an author in the Black Library that wrote something about Wraithbone, and of course it happened to be manufactured instead of sung. So I don't know if they're retconning or just making it flow, that now it's a manufactured substance instead of sung. And if that's the case, who knows, maybe later on down the road they could change it back. But to me, it's kind of like the whole issue about Space Marine power armor. Back in my day, power armor, it had never had servos. It was made of adamantium with a ceramite laminate layer, which means that it's not pure ceramite. It's adamantium with a layer of ceramite on top to act as a heat-resistant ablative layer. End of story. No servos, because you see authors in Black Library sometimes rate the servo line. No, they wear a body glove that the armor is attached to that has fiber bundles that creates the locomotive force that just augments their existing muscle. So their skeleton is the skeleton of the power armor. There is no exoskeleton that the power armor is built over that necessitates servos. Maybe Terminator armor, you could argue that there might be servos involved, but not the Space Marine power armor. And it's the same kind of story that we kind of talked about earlier. I
Yeah.
said that Space Marine armor is made of adamantium and ceramite. You said, oh, I can't find that. Well, here's the evidence. But did they retcon it later on down the road like they are with the Wraithbone? Possibly. My personal opinion about it is they're losing a lot of flavor and a lot of the OG fluff that made 40k what it is 40k. It's like we're losing Grim Dark. So
Well, now we are losing actual thing that is. You can say that it doesn't make a difference if it's grim dark or not, the way that it's made, this metal is made, but it's just a lot more interesting if it was made through a song. And now it's
Yes.
just, yeah, it's manufactured. Man, well, now it's not interesting anymore. Like, why should
Yeah.
we care?
Everything is generic now. It's just the well, it's the whole thing about the whole woke argument. It's to bring everybody down to a base level, DEI. You don't earn anything. You don't have any competition. There's nothing based on merit. Well, it's the same thing here. Everything's down to a base level now. Everybody will suffer equally. So everything is garbage. Everything is blah. There's no story. There's no flavor. There's no canon. It doesn't matter. At least that's the way it seems to come across.
Yeah, kinda. And now let's take a look at the article real quick, and we're going to touch upon some things that I just mentioned about De La Rose and this guy that writes all of these articles, losing our credibility, whose also his name is John, but okay, maybe they have, maybe this John guy has written a good article this time. We'll see. So last year, Games Workshop created an incredible controversy by changing the lore of the Adeptus Custodes. So now he's just going to rant about Custodes for 500 time, because that is what they always do. They just, push this narrative that because this happened, now this is happening. Although the two things are obviously not connected at all, because this is a lot more, woke, political, whatever. And this here that they're doing now seems like, well, for some people, it seems like they're trying to Games Workshop are trying to present the lore to people that are more brain dead than not now. To less smart people that cannot take the complexity of the lore. So let's just make this thing more like simple so people can digest, like the new people. But who the heck, the new people? What? This was for in 40k for number of years, maybe for a lot more years that I have been here. So the heck, this is totally not the way to make something more interesting, because it just makes it less interesting. And 40k is complicated as it is. You cannot simplify 40k. If you do, then you're just gonna lose all the things, all the just little threads of uniqueness that actually are inwoven in 40k. I'm not sure how to say it. So
That's what
skipping,
makes it 40k.
yeah. So skipping all the fluff, because this is absolute fluff again. And I'm not sure if you're reading an article these days. If you have any time to read an article, why would you get through all the old stuff? Just, well, you will if you want to be rage baited and to now be angry about this, which you have a reason to be, but the point is that this is nothing to do with the female custodies thing. So custodians, and after all of this crap, we go to the actual Aeldari Codex. So now in the 10th edition Codex Aeldari, Games Workshop has changed the way Wraithbone, was it, Gwen?
Wraithbone.
A Wraithbone. Okay, Wraithbone has always worked historically. It says the Wraithbone substance from which each craft world is wrought is a composite material formed from various compounds, ores, and minerals. It is as much grown as it's forged. So this is actually the new line that that Games Workshop are putting forward to explain how this Wraithbone is created. But have you ever seen anything like this in the lore before about this material?
No, I've always understood it to be a psychically generated material that is sung by psychic influence. So basically, call it like a blueprint. You sing a song in your mind to create the element that you want to create.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and by the way, Doodle in the comments, hi to you, of course, to dear Clayton. He says, the lore of an entire universe can be changed if the plot of one book requires it. Seems to be a big problem with 40k and other IPs. Yes, but,
Agreed.
it depends on the context. They do add some stuff that are useful sometimes, but sometimes they just do retcon, because that's a retcon. Do retcon things that don't seem to be don't seem to be of need to be retcon, because what is wrong for a material to be just sank to be just sank into existence? What is wrong with that? It sounds very unique, doesn't it?
But you see, I guess it must come down to the whole DEI thing. Not everybody can sing equally, so.
Oh, come on. Really? Do you think that this is because of the DEI
Yeah.
stuff?
I'm being facetious, but it always gets drawn back to that, doesn't it? So you got to play along in that sense.
Hopefully it is not, because this would be very, very stupid.
Oh, it is silly.
Continuing though. Okay, so Wraithbone was originally rock-based material sung into existence, but now is being muddied to how it comes about with the terminology grown as it's forged. Like, how is it grown then? So they can just forge it and they can sing it? Doesn't make any sense to me. It just sounds convoluted now, basically. And contrast the new lore change to the 2E Eldar Codex, which says Eldar technology is based upon psychotechnic engineering, the manipulation of matter using mental energy. The materials used are what is that? Mutile plastic. Quinn, help me out here.
Where are we? Simple devices. With similar ways to plants. Oh. Manipulate matter and mental energy materials. Second impression. I'm not sure. I don't see. Can you see the word?
Okay, hold on.
Highlighted.
I should have do this, but it's live. So, okay. Oh, I'm here. Sorry. I still have a cold, guys, so apologies for that. So, yeah, this.
Mutile.
Mutile psychoplastic, which can be readily formed into solid shapes under psychometric pressure. Such materials have many unusual qualities. In some respects, they are more like living tissue than inert substances, growing and reacting with their environment in a similar way to plants, which is very fascinating, actually. Simple devices, including weapons like the shuriken. Hey, there's a shuriken? Oh, that's cool. Catapults, for which the Eldar are especially well known, function in the same way as the equivalent human items. Although formed from complex psychoplastic, the completed device is a machine or component that works in a conventional manner. Of course, Eldar weapons usually store energy and use it far more efficiently than the human equivalent, but this makes little difference to their effectiveness. The most unusual of these psychoplastic is called Wraithbone. All the craft worlds are built upon a skeleton of Wraithbone, whose structure extends throughout the gigantic craft like a set of ribs. Wraithbone is an immensely resilient substance, far stronger than the strongest plasteel and more difficult to damage than adamantium. Well, we gotta talk about adamantium, how the heck they have the right to use it. We have talked about this like between me and you, but maybe it is the it is what the adamantium can actually do that's the difference. So in this universe, it cannot do the things that it does like in Marvel. Maybe something that has to do with
it is a
energy.
different. Yeah, it's just a super strong type of metal.
Yeah. So if it's damaged, it will gradually repair itself, although the process can be accelerated under psychometric pressure, which again is very cool. I love this concept.
Yes.
The manipulation of matter using mental energy is key, making it a distinct substance with unique qualities. Changing it to grown and forge takes away the uniqueness of Wraithbone and turns it into something generic. Yes, absolutely, I agree with that, totally. Warhammer writer Guy Thorpe also elaborated on how it works in White Dwarf 127. A spirit stone is a tool which allows bone singers to draw raw energy from the warp and shape it into matter. The matter created in this way is called Wraithbone, and it can be psychically teased. Sorry, is it teased? Yeah, teased, and manipulated by the Bonesinger into almost any form he wishes. Wraithbone is extremely tough and resilient and forms the backbone of StarCraft and large structures as well as countless smaller items. Nor is Wraithbone only used for utilitarian artifacts like StarCrafts. It is also used to create sculptural works of art because Wraithbone is a solidified form of warp energy. It has several special properties. It never really loses its physical connection to the warp, so that in a sense, yeah, so that in a sense, part of it remains in the warp at all times. As a result, Wraithbone can channel psychic energy much as an electric cable carries a current. At the same time, it also contains psychic forces and can shield the forces it contains from other psychic energy. As I made obvious here, grown as much as forge is completely inaccurate as a way of describe the substance. Fans are decrying. Is this a word?
Yep, it means they're making it. They're shouting, they're screaming, they're showing their disfavor for it. That's what
Okay.
this crying is.
Okay. Fans are decrying the change already. Warhammer LC posted on X on the topic saying Eldar Wraithbone got retconned in the codex apparently. LOL. Went from something sunk into existence to something manufactured. 10th edition has done and will continue to do untold damage to the hobby as minor uh, as minor of a change it seems on the surface. It's an erosion of 40k's mystic elements. Reject the tent and stop buying slop. So this is his post. And then who the heck is Gorgon Slayer 69 mocked the idea with a meme based on the original Adeptus Custodes announcement saying lore doesn't matter, chut. Yeah, because Warhammer Fisher actually replied. So they say, in regards to Wraithbone, it has always been a composite material formed from various compounds, ores and minerals since the first Wraithbone was created. Okay, is this not exactly though like the female Custodes case when they
Yes,
said there will always been female Custodes? Seems
yes,
like the same freaking thing.
yes. That's exactly the same. So you can see why Johnny Boy mentioned the whole Femstodes thing at the get-go of the
Yeah,
article. There
but
is a connection.
he would still do that no matter what he's talking about.
This is
I
true,
know his articles. He will still push
but he's
that.
showing the link. Yeah, he's just adding more evidence. But yes, GW is definitely streamlining, stripping down, and modifying the canon of 40k. And in many cases, personally, I think unnecessarily. And it is losing a lot of its flavor. I enjoy the little additions that they've made because there is room for new elements to be created and making things a little clearer, such as it's been 10,000 years from 30k to 40k. Stories do change, but as long as it keeps the key elements of what was there, and now we've got a clearer picture of it, I'm all for that. That's not a retcon. That's adding to. But this is a retcon. It's completely changing the whole fabric of what is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I'm not like a huge Eldar fan, like I mentioned, but this is breaking of a principle again. So, no matter if you are or you're not a fan of the Eldari, it doesn't matter because when GW do this, they're doing it to everyone in a matter of principle, and those principles should not be broken. Now, once again, we have talked about before what is the difference between like adding something to the lore, like more story, and changing something that was always there, then saying that something else was always there, and that's the retcon that was always there, which is totally untrue, does make it a lie. So it is ridiculous in how you said it actually. That's completely unnecessary and it's so dumb. So you have a unique universe, you have unique stuff about it, like this particular material. Why should that be changed? And yeah, some people do think that maybe in the future story this will make sense. But still, how can you not write a story around what this material is all about and make it like better, you know? And not try to like diminish it because you don't know how to write a good story around some material true nature. It's ridiculously dumb, isn't it?
I think so. It's
And hi to
well,
Trojan in the chat. He says, as much grown as it's forged. Oh, come on, step into the grinder. Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, I can understand why they changed some things, like the Eldar are now called Eldari and the Dark Eldar are called Drukari. It's because I guess there were some copyright issues or whatever it was, and legal issues about naming conventions on certain things. But being the old timer that I am, I still call them Eldar, Imperial Guard, and Dark Eldar. It's just a lot of names that got changed over the years for different things, and some of them are good, some of them are like, why did you bother? It kind of spoils it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, at
And
least why did
they,
they bother?
yeah, they overcomplicate things. Like 30k was pretty simple and straightforward, and now they've got all these Romanesque type Legion units that have been piled on, and I haven't kept up to date on, but I don't know. It's just weird what GW is doing, and honestly, I think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. Or as the old expression is, they're going to cut their nose off to spite their face, and they're going to regret it later on.
Wow, that's amazing. I love it. They're gonna cut their noses by their face. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And Noveske, hi Noveske in the comments. So he says, now what is the webway made from? And it cannot be alloys and solid materials. Yeah, what do you think?
I have no idea. I mean, maybe what they're saying is that they need base components that are in physical reality, then they have to sing them into whatever they want. But again, what was the point of that? I mean, it was perfectly functional and unique as it was. It's just, I don't know. It's just, it's not a big deal. I mean, in the big grand scheme of things, you can say, yeah, it's just another change. But then if you do that and they keep changing things, well, then what are you left with? So, in one sense, it's not a huge deal, but in another sense, yeah, it's kind of annoying because if they do it to that, what else are they going to do it to? They've already done it to other things, and it is ruining the flavor of the game.
Exactly. And unfortunately. And now let's quickly mention about what actually happened. For those of you that haven't seen, I have a gaming channel, gotta post it somewhere probably in the pinned comment. But yeah, there I'm going to be talking about current things that are happening in gaming and the news for the last few days, where that basically John Della Rose from the YouTube channel with the same name and the guy that writes these articles, whose also name is John, they're trying to actively bury Kingdom Come Deliverance. So from here on out, we cannot actually trust them because they literally are trying to push the narrative that there is a lot of gay underage, I cannot even say it, corn in the game, which there isn't. And they just play the card of being a moralist and all those things. And it has come out now by some information from a girl named Savvy on Twitter. Then John De La Rose actually even stole some woman from Spain identity, tried to present her name as his name, writing name, use her picture, like all those things, like that he is a furry. Like it was like a huge bomb. Like what the heck is happening? This is crazy. I mean, I did call him out for the Warhammer crap that he was talking just a few months ago before the new year, but this is like to a whole nother level. And actually, they're doing a real defamation to the studio that made Kingdom Come Deliverance and to the devs. So maybe they're gonna get sued. Who knows now? It's even that bad. So yeah, if you want to see that video, it's on the gaming channel, but I gotta like attach it here after the stream. So yeah, I'm not believing what they're writing in general. This is of course most information taken from the codex, so it's fine, but just have in mind that they are trying to push woke when there isn't woke. Sometimes, of course, there is, but they're also trying to push it when there isn't. So just have like, take what they say with a grain of salt, because this is pretty freaking severe what they're doing, and pretty freaking evil what they're doing to the game, or trying to do with that game. So, Doodle says, can copyright elf and dark elf, and Eldar was token, I think, and so the Aeldari was born. This is the reason you mean. Hey, Mr. YouTube Head, you. I'm late, my Empress, but I already aware of the subject, so tiresome. Yes, indeed. Well, Quinn, do you have anything to add?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, guys. So basically, that is it. Actually, we we went through the whole thing. Let us know what you think in the comments, guys. And I'm gonna be back very soon, and we are gonna kick some ass as before. And I'm thinking to use some other things as well, but I'm gonna let you know in time. So love you guys. Until next time, with me, the 40k Empress. Thank you to Quinn, the amazing OG fan that always gets his, shares with me his input of someone that has been into 40k for the longest time, since it started. So thank you so much, Quinn.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, guys. Bye, and I love you.